Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be destroying Elsa Bloodstone using 1-star Wolverine, but before we get to the actual fight I wanted to point out a couple things really quickly, and the first one is potentially the main reason why I actually recorded this fight, because I don't think it is a very hard fight or a very kind of like good representation of somebody's skill level. It's a long fight, it's not a really hard fight, but yesterday after I uploaded my initial boss clear video, about 20 minutes after the event came out, one of the comments that this time rubbed me a bit too much the wrong way. Now, everybody who does YouTube has to deal with a ton of negative comments, but I wanted to reply to this gentleman in particular. Well, it is done with 4 stars. What's the point of this video? You completed and uploaded, that's all. Did we get help from this? No. And I guess the comment would be fair enough if I wouldn't explicitly tell in the video that I will do an entire stream finding out different options, different champions for different fights, and then I will post a guide, which I have done now. And also that 4-star remark kind of rubbed me a bit the wrong way as well. And well, therefore we're gonna bring in a 1-star if that is so needed. Now, I do know that Karate Mike has uploaded a 1-star Elsa Bloodstone takedown using Wolverine as well. And God forbid these days, if you do the same fight with the same champion that somebody else has already done, then that's a very, very huge deal apparently. But I wanted to point that out, and I actually hadn't seen his video before I recorded my fight, but as I was about to do the voiceover for it, I actually noticed it in my YouTube suggested section. So fair point to Karate Mike. I'll leave a video to his takedown. I actually didn't finish watching it in full, but it is there. I'll definitely leave a link to it. Now, all that being said, obviously Karate Mike is an awesome guy, and I doubt he would have had problem with me recording the same fight, but just had to put that out there. Right, so the fight is here, and we can jump in it. Now, that is a 1-star Wolverine. I do run suicides because I just don't want to really take them off in off-season. And other than that, things to note about this fight, yes, I have jazzed up my 1-star Wolverine tiny bit, well, with synergy team, obviously Professor X, Apocalypse, and the shebang. Now, he is not made Horseman of Apocalypse because I did not want to waste the revive, but the synergies are there, like White Magneto and Captain America Infinity War. It's just to make this fight last a bit less, because it is going to be like a marathon fight in itself. Now, I don't think this fight is difficult in any capacity, and I'll explain why. Because, well, number one, life transfer. Therefore, using Wolverine here lets you recover any and all chip damage. So basically you can all the time have your health bar topped off, and if there would be no life transfer, you'd pretty much have to play perfectly, and you would really risk whenever you parry, and all the chip damage would add up, and the fight would be much harder by a factor of 10. Another reason why the fight is relatively good for Wolverine is the bleed vulnerability, and obviously bleed is one of the 2 things that Wolverine does in this game. He regens and he makes opponents bleed, therefore that is super helpful. And when it comes to dealing with this track, obviously Wolverine has access to bleeds, but the reason why you can do this fight with quite literally any champion in the game is because this track is accompanied by Got a Light node, and that lets you put incinerates on opponent as you strike them. Now, if you just rely on those incinerates to get you to up to 3 debuffs, you're probably not going to have the best time in here. Therefore, using a champion that has access to some sort of damage over time effect will be really helpful. Why do you need damage over time effect specifically is because Elsa does shrug off non-damaging debuffs at a fairly rapid rate, and those will not help you too much. And another quick note, obviously, is Elsa will cause you to degenerate at extremely rapid pace if you make her bleed without using a mutant champion. So basically, any champion that inflicts damage over time, except bleed, unless you're mutant, kind of condition for this fight. You can avoid, again, damage over time effects altogether, and then it's going to take a bit longer. I think I have seen this fight done with like Guillotine 2099 and a whole bunch of other champions. The reason, however, why I dislike doing these marathon fights too much is because, quite honestly, yes, they are not hard. as long as you know how to wait Elsa Bloodstone's level 1, the fight is all about consistency, and it's kind of like a marathon. You have a lot of margin of error still, even though you're using a 1-star, because of light transfer. Whenever you take any block damage, you can heal that up and you can recover it, and obviously Wolverine has healing on his own as well. And the entire fight quite literally is to do with power management. Do not push Elsa Bloodstone up to 2 bars of power, because if you eat that in block, chances are you're gone from the block damage as is. And yeah, just push her to level 1, away the level 1, punish that. And try to manage her power as consistently as you can, so you do not need to parry or intercept more than you have to. So that is just about it about this fight, and it's a fairly straightforward fight. The difficulty level on it really isn't all that hard. All things put together, I do like the way it is designed though, because there is like a certain trap with that bleed vulnerability, and people want to get carried away making Elsa Bloodstone bleed, and that obviously could cause them to degen and immediately die. On top of that, there is the unblockable level 1, and I know many people feel more comfortable blocking the level 1 rather than trying to evade it fully. And I think it's pretty much a perfect kind of entry-level fight, because it's open to vast majority of the champions in the contest. And yeah, it's fairly quick. You have a damage boost given via bleed vulnerability. And I do like most of the fights in this year's boss rush. If not all, I actually think all of them are very reasonable by design. And yeah, so Wolverine, 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star, whatever one, definitely will do a good job here. But so will an absolute ton of other champions. Now, we can see that she's at like 7%. I actually do have a little scare here towards the very end of the video. Because she's going to refuse to throw her level 1 for a while. I think I'm going to take a hit in a block, which is going to drop my health quite a bit. And I just seem to be unable to get to 3 debuffs. You can see I landed like an entire combo. Didn't inflict any bleeds or incinerates. And for a while there, I got slightly worried. And because it was a very end of the fight, obviously you don't want to lose concentration. You don't want to lose focus here. But she's at 3% only, so really just need to kind of like get some debuffs on her, and now she has 4 debuffs, drop a level 1, a heal back to full, and the fight is well under control. And yeah, the job's done here. Jobs are good, and 228 hit, 29 hits. Wasn't even all that long. So yeah, it is fairly, I suppose, interesting fight, and hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know if you did, and that is about it. I'm gonna catch you guys soon. See ya. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the